What up, what up, what up? Keith again. So, got some stuff I've been meaning to pick up for a while. I told y'all I was going to get some stuff. I finally got some carbide bits today. I got a 5-pack of them from Northern Hydraulics, which is just like Northern Tool now. Anyway, 5-pack, different carbide bits I'm going to use to port out different things, including the turbo flange that is way out of size. Also got a vise from good old Harbor Freight for $25 after my coupon. So I was going to work on the car a little bit. However, if a technical problem popped up, somebody's car's broke. Travis's GTO doesn't charge like it's supposed to, so let's tow it to the auto electric place and see if they can't figure out what the issue is with it. Car's got a lot of work done to it, so one of those complicated things that should be simple but isn't. So we got to do a little bit of work to the trailer today. So I'm going to work on getting the piece made for the hitch to make it a little safer. Also got to get the 4 tires that I bought for it put on. The tires that are on it are an abomination, and I don't think they'll make anything safely. So get the new tires put on and get the hitch fixed. It should be ready to drop off. All right, out here at the trailer finally. The temperature dropped crazy fast. It's like 33 degrees out here. It sucks. It's like it's gonna rain, but it won't. But it rains all the time now anyway. Apparently we live in Seattle. Anyway, about this hitch. So the problem I have is it can't lock the way it is. There's multiple ways of going about this. But what I think I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put a piece on here that kind of sticks up with a bolt hole. I'm gonna weld it on. And I have another piece that goes from this, swings over and sits down and blocks this slit from being able to come up. As it does that, it closes down and goes through the slit, and I can put a bolt through here or a locking pin or whatever through here and stop it from being able to lift up. Because right now there's nothing stopping this thing from lifting up and sliding back. Only way this thing locks is whenever you pull it back, the bottom under here slides back, and whenever you push it down, see right there, it's actually hitting the ball, but as you push it down, this slides forward. Doesn't slide very well right now, so I'm going to fix all that by putting on a piece of metal. Not going to do that right now though. I'll work on these wheels. I got my big boy impact out from work. It makes like 800 foot-pounds of torque or something stupid shit, so that ought to be enough to rip these very rusted lug bolts off with. Some of them are missing or broken, as you can see, so we're just gonna send it. Do the best we got with it. This one's got all 5. I think one over there's got 3 or 4, whatever. We'll do what we can with it. Here is a new tire. You can see exactly how bad these are. They're super fucked, and these are basically brand new. So let's get started. All right, so as you see, I lost all my damn daylight. Even though it's the south and all that good shit, it still gets dark at 6:30, which fucking sucks. Can't get anything done. So anyway, I got 2 of them on. It turns out that this wheel bearing was completely loose, so I'm glad we didn't tow anything with it yet. But I took the cap off, tightened the wheel bearing up, put a new cotter pin in, checked it and whatnot. It's way tighter now. You can see how that spins compared to this one. Much, much more free. And I got these wheels as straight as I could, dude. You're supposed to be like perfect with them and shit. I couldn't get them any straighter. Whatever. We'll see how it works. If it doesn't work good, I'll figure something out. I'll keep the impact in the truck or whatever. So I have to do this shit on the side of the road, I will. But that's 2 done. I'm going to do the next 2 later. Probably tomorrow. It's just too dark to do this shit right now. Plus I'm on this little incline right here, and it's kind of sketch. I don't want to do these bottom, you can see the incline here. I don't want to do these bottom ones with all the weight of the trailer bearing down on them. And they're heavy. This trailer's heavy as shit too. And you can see I started to paint just to see what it would look like if I painted it a little. Anyway, I'll clean up some tools and wrap this up, and we'll work on that tonight. Alright, so here's what I come up with. I cut the old bolt off. It wouldn't come off. That bitch was completely rusted. I don't even know where the nut went for it. It's around here somewhere. But had this bolt in the toolbox, was left over. Oh, dropped something. Yeah, let's drop that bolt. This is a leftover that I had from something somewhere else. I don't know. And a nut that I had in a box of random things. So this one's a little longer. So I took a valve spring that I had left over from when I did the head swap, like I was talking about, cut it off a little. I narrowed it. I'd probably reduce like a 1/2 inch off of it. And that's just because the bolt was a little too short. So I'm going to put this on and put the valve spring on and put the washer on top of it. And we'll see how much tension it adds to this. And then I'll kind of get a measurement for the little plate that it's going to come down and butt to the end of the nose here. I also made this piece last night. It's the next day, by the way. But this will kind of go right there. And, oh, sorry, down here. When this is sticking up, there'll be a plate that goes from here to the nose. And that thing will slide down and buckle over this. Just so. And lock this nose in place. I got to engineer that still. We'll get to that, but at least I got an idea for this. So let me put this on real quick. All right, so I measured out. This is the flat stock that I bought from Home Depot a month or so ago. I don't remember when. In one of the other videos. I've marked off my lines, 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, 4 inches. From the side, if you were looking at the side of the trailer, that is going to come 1.5 inches out. I got the spring sitting right here. It'll come down 1.25 inches to the flat surface, 4 inches out, and the nose of the trailer is going to be right over here. And the little piece I'm going to put with the hole in it will be right in the center here, right here. So I'm going to make a slit right in here for that piece to drop, for this piece to drop over that slit, so I can stick a pin in here and lock it all in place. And I'll kind of bend the nose of this down just a little bit to get that little tang at the end. So I'm going to cut this out, then we'll bend it. I'll go from there. Hey, by the way, y'all, I went ahead and got the other wheels on. I got all 4 of them on now. You want to talk about a total pain in the ass. God almighty. I've already made the choice here. When it's time for me to change, I'm going to eventually put there's got electric brakes on here, but they don't work. So I'm going to replace these back hubs with new brakes and new hubs. But when I replace these back hubs, they're going to get regular rims, 5 on 4.5 or 5 on 5.5, whichever they offer, with regular size rims on it that I can get regular trailer tires for. Because I'm going to tell you, this is a pain in the ass to get these tires straight. And I can only imagine doing this on the side of the road with a flat. Oh my God, I'd be ready to kill somebody. So anyway, I got all 4 of them on, and I put this one up here. I'm going to strap it down just so we have a spare. This is the best tire out of the 4 that I had. So it'd be the best one to keep a spare just to get us down the road. All right, back to doing this. All right, I've got it cut out here. Not exactly straight, but that's what we have a grinder for. So I'll hit it with the grinder and straighten it, and we'll start these bends. All right, so we got what we made here. I just kind of bent this in the vise and hammered on it a little bit with the hammer and a pair of pliers till I got it kind of what I wanted. But as you see, it's going to kind of sit like so, only I'm going to drill a hole in the top of it right here. And it'll go underneath this washer so that when it's on here, it's going to sit pretty flat right here. Not perfectly, but pretty flat. You see. Now I'm just going to bend the nose down a little bit so that it kind of hits this, kind of like that, just so it can't come up unless we unhook it from here and swivel it out of the way. then you can do your hitch, put it back, swivel it down, drop it, and push your pin through this piece that'll be sitting right here. Simple enough, right? So let's modify this a bit. All right, there's my rudimentary hitch cover holder. All that's left is to weld this piece in here and cut our slit in the metal up here, so that when we would like to get this off, we'll simply pull it up, swivel it out of the way, which now that's much tighter and difficult to get off. We'll swivel it out of the way, put it back on, drop it on, and be done. I think that's awesome. So now we just got to put the finishing touches on it and TKO. All right, so here's the piece that I have that's going to be the pin holder. All right, so I'm going to grind off the corners here so this is nice and round and tapered. And it'll be a little easier to fasten this over it if I do that. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Then I'm going to take this here that I've bent, a nice little angle. I'm going to knock off the corners here on the grinder and kind of get it nice and smooth so I don't cut my finger on the sumbitch every time I use it. I've got the welder outside ready to go. I've got the wire wheel and my drill over here so I can buzz the paint down, get a nice welding surface. I've got the pin out there that I bought today from Harbor Freight for $2. I think I'm about ready. So let's get to it. All right, technical problem, by the way. It's balls cold outside. It was like 75 degrees the other day and beautiful. Well, now it's like 23 and windy. And that might not be cold, y'all assholes up north, but guess what? We're down here in the warm area. This sucks. All right, here's what I've come up with. I've got my spring on there. It all sits really tight. So I've got it marked where I want it with a Sharpie under there. I'm going to go back in the shop area here and cut a slit in the top. It'll drop down on it. Once I get that done, I can kind of bend this how I want it. Bend this a little better to get on this lip a little better. But it's pretty dang close the way it is, so I think it's going to work. It's tight to move, but I guess that's better than being loose, right? Pull it back. Flip your front. Do your business. Yada yada. Put it back whenever you're ready. All of it seems to move fairly decently. So, yeah. See, when you got it on there, slide it down. Get it good and tight. Hitch is not moving. I like the way that looks. So, let me take it off, cut the slit, bend it a little more, and we'll see what we got after that. Alright, here's what I got. So I welded the valve spring, just tacked it in place. It doesn't need much. Just so it would make a pivot point for me. I've got the lock nut system going on right here for this. So it can't come off. The bolt runs all the way through. Attaches to the bottom lip right here where it grabs the ball and holds it in place so it can't move. So you want to disconnect it. Pull your pin out. Pick this bitch up. Flip it over. Tongue up. Slide it back. And I'll give it a jostle. Goes right back. Get the trailer off. Bam, you're done. Slide your tongue back down. Flip it back over. Give it a little smash down. It's kind of tight getting back together, but hey, ask any guy, it's better than loose. Give it a little smack. Flip it back up. I tell y'all guys, it's in there pretty tight now. That's not coming back off. If that's not inventive and $3 worth of stuff. I don't know what is, y'all. That's going to do the job, I think. We'll let Travis test it out with his $40,000 GTO first. How about that? Before I put the piece of junk, freaking piece of junk Mustang on it. All right, so let me get some crap picked up. It's pretty late. I'm surprised Clint Eastwood hadn't come outside and complained yet. So wrap this thing up and get it put online. How about that? All right, y'all. Back in the house. Gonna get this thing put up online real quick. I appreciate everything. Comments, subscribers. It's awesome, y'all. Spread the word if you can. Hit like. Hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications from now on. Blah, blah, blah. Here's a couple videos for you guys to watch. We'll be back with the Mustang pretty soon. I got a check coming in the mail. Got some turbo stuff possibly getting ordered. So hang loose. We'll be back soon. Peace.